Hey everyone, welcome to Horrible Gaming. My name is Nora, and on today's video I am teaching you how to build several immersive builds for your Citycore island. All codes that I'm using today can be found in the video's description, and also if you're not sure what I mean by interactive, basically these builds are very immersive. You can enter them, it feels like you're actually inside the actual store. So that is the goal for every single build that I'm doing. The first building that we are creating today is an interactive grocery store that is inspired by Whole Foods Market. One of my friends made this beautiful Nooks Food Market sign, and I cannot wait for y'all to see this. So basically, I am just going to go ahead and map out where I want the store's flooring to be. This will change probably as I work, but we are just using a standard white tile. I actually found this tile under criteria search with the word tile. So there's a lot of great options on criteria search to look for store flooring. So if you don't care for the white tile or any of the codes that I'm using today, criteria search is always the best place to go. So what I'm going to use for the building's exterior, and this is for all the interactive buildings that we're making today, is the bookshelf item, and this is a DIY. I am going to be using a crap ton of these. There is like no set amount on how many bookshelves I'm using. I just kind of like build. And if you are new to my channel, first of all, thank you so much for coming to my channel. But basically, I wing all of my builds. I don't have any plans. I just kind of like let my creativity see where it's going to take me. So I know that's not realistic for everybody. And this is why I actually started my YouTube channel, because I never could explain to people properly how I come up with my build ideas, how I plan these out. And as mentioned, I just wing them. So hopefully watching this video will give you some ideas for your island and also some inspiration. Interactive builds are super fun because they fill up space. If you are somebody who is having trouble filling up a certain space on your island, or maybe you don't want all your buildings to feel the same, just with the same old building exteriors that we usually do on my channel, this is a great way to break it up and add some more fun spots on your island. The next item we are going to be using that is going to be a huge staple for all of our interactive builds are the item called Simple Panel, and these come in different colors. So if you don't have all the colors, head over to my Discord, and this goes for all the items that we're using today. If you don't have any of these, on my Discord channel we have treasure islands, which are islands full of different materials, DIYs, items, etc. And you can rate these for free. And keep in mind that when you do join my Discord channel, these are hosted only as time allows. There's only a few of us who can host these islands, and we all have jobs and families, so we host these as time allows, and they're usually open every single week. So definitely be patient, follow all the server rules, and this will help you make some of these builds if you are somebody wanting to do a Citycore but you don't want to have to craft all of these bookshelves. This is going to save you a lot of time. So I know that this question is going to pop up eventually on this video. It usually pops up on almost all of my videos, is how do you transition behind builds like this? And it's actually really easy. You could go the simple route of just doing a road behind this with shrubs and trees, or you could put this against some terraform. So where I have those little squares where the building is, I would put either some hedges up there or some little apartment buildings on simple panels, etc. So it kind of just depends on location on your island and how you want to transition behind it. I'll have more videos on transition ideas behind builds that we do on my channel in the future. And also, if you already are in my Discord channel, I do stream sometimes in there, and I'll always notify y'all if I'm going live, because then you'll see how I build without the speed build effect on my videos, and you can see how I work behind all of my builds too that way. So right now I'm using the base game wood simple panel with the custom designed store logo, and this is going to be where my cash register spot is. I'm going to keep this area pretty simple. I also want to add in this video, for every single build that we do, I don't always make sure if you can reach a certain spot. I kind of just build for aesthetic reasons. So if you are somebody wanting to be able to walk in every single angle of these type of builds, make sure you leave enough space, expand this building as needed, etc., just to make those adjustments. But I do make it so you can enter these and walk around in some spots, but there is some areas on all these builds that we're doing today where you can't actually reach them, but just keep that in mind. I also want to add, if you are low on custom designs for some of these shop panels that I am using inside this store right now, you can substitute these in with items like the drink machine and snack machine. These will look like produce store shelves, etc. So that is an option if you're not wanting to use as many custom designs as I'm using. But if you have this space and you're doing a rather simple island, then maybe the custom designs that I'm using today will give you some ideas and inspiration. Just keep that in the back of your mind. You don't have to use as many custom designs as I'm using. Another trick and thing that I usually usually do on all of my builds is I make use of the base game simple panel colors as much as possible. This just makes your designs go further, and I also think about designs that I can reuse in other stores. So for example, this white tile that I'm using on this first build, we're actually going to reuse it in several other builds, and I usually do that. I plan out my designs to be able to be reused in several different things. So that is something that you should definitely think about every time you go into a build like this. Obviously, someone is not going to recreate every single build that we are making on this video today. I mean, if you are, that's awesome, but choose definitely the build that you want to have the most detail in it first when you're going for an immersive style like we are doing in today's video. Also, to let you know that this video is going to be a lot longer than most of my videos are. We're going to have a lot of fast forward and transitioning because this video would be super long as is if I didn't do that. So if you have any questions on what items I used in certain spots, do not be afraid to ask me in the comment section below. I will definitely get to all the comments that I can, but a lot of these are DIYs and items that you can find. So definitely ask me if you have a question on a specific thing. So right here, I'm actually expanding the terraform behind the build that we just did. And this is where I was talking about earlier how you could do several different things above here. I'm just going to use diner neon signs above the logo, but you could do little apartments up here, and that would be as easy as using a bookshelf and 2 simple panels. That is how simple you can go with these builds for transition spots behind them. And if you don't want to add terraform behind this, you can obviously just fill the corners in with trees and plants and then do like a road behind it. There's a lot of options you could do. Another great option is you could do little sitting spots above this build, and you could do an incline leading up to this and making this like a up patio area, and then have your road transition behind this. So I mean, like, there is a ton of different ways you could use this as a transition behind this building, but I wanted to just do something as simple as diner neon signs. It's my go-to when I do any kind of store, so that is what we're gonna do up here. You can also make your own sign, and where we have our fruits and vegetables, have a 2-panel design that says produce on there, and then you could do on the other side one that says canned food or something like that. But I don't have those designs made, but that would be something I would love to have made in the future. I think that would be such a cool addition to a grocery store. So if you're in a position where one side is still very empty, you don't know how to fill this in, one of my other great fillers to do alongside with pretty much any build if it looks good is a parking lot. And so I love to make my parking lots using a road piece, you know, the top or bottom line, each of them work. And I just placed that to make them look like little parking spots. And you can use the throwback bed item that looks like a car, or you could just use bicycles. So that's usually what I do when I have a really awkward spot like this between the build, and I'll just decorate that and make like a little dumpster area with trash, etc. So that is something else that I love to do when I'm trying to fill in an awkward spot. This also works really well too if your build is at the edge of your map, and so you're like having your beach literally like right on the other side, and it's super cluttered and feeling and just like a really weird spot to begin with. So this is just a really nice simple build to fill that awkward area in. So here is our finished Whole Foods inspired market. If you don't like that sign repeating its words, that is an easy fix. Usually in this scenario, I'll put an item there like a wooden dresser or something tall enough to hide where the text starts to repeat. But I liked how it looked as is. So with that being said, let's go ahead and transition over to our next immersive build. So the next build that we are doing is a interactive McDonald's, and I first was placing this checked tile, and again I found a lot of these tiles that I'm using, including this one, under criteria search tile. I actually ended up changing this to a different code because I felt like just using a white tile looked better, but if you do like this one, that's where you can find it. I also want to add that you can use any color bookshelf with this. I just decided to do the brown one to complement the yellow tones that I'm using on this build, but white also looks just as good. So this building's exterior is pretty much identical to the Nook's Food Market exterior. The only difference is I didn't make that little nook where the cash register was. I just kept it a straight backside. So I'm going to be covering the panels with a yellow wall, and this is just to kind of like hide the bookshelf backside of that. So that is what I'm doing. And again, if you don't like how the brown bookshelf looks, do the white one. I ended up changing the floor, as mentioned, to a white tile. I just felt like it was taking away too much from my designs and the red tones, and I just thought it felt cleaner. So I ended up using that for my flooring. Now I am going to go ahead and remove these two panels to do the McDonald's logo, and then to hide the repeating design, we're going to place two diner counters. And I also used that stall over there to make it look like that is where a drive-through was going to be, but I ended up changing my mind because I needed some space for a table and chair set. But I thought that would be a great idea too, in case someone likes that idea. It'd be super cute to use the throwback bed as a car passing by waiting for their takeout. So again, I just wanted to leave that in there in case someone liked that idea. So next I placed a den desk for the cash register area to complement my brown bookshelf. And again, you can use any table or item here for the cash register area. I just wanted to use that to complement the brown bookshelf. And next I'm going to go ahead and change my tile color. As mentioned earlier, I changed my mind on that. Next, we lined the front of the bookshelves with black simple panels customized with a glass, and these designs are by TROPIKITCH, so you'll find that inside the MA on the video's description. And then that open sign is actually by me, so I loved how I was able to match it to the McDonald's colors, so I'm using that on this design. Next, I am using the McDonald's sign logo on this stall, and if you don't want to use two different colored stalls, just using the McDonald's one works great, but I wanted to showcase both of these designs in case somebody doesn't have the option of multiple designs, that the stall by TROPIKITCH that's yellow and orange looks just as good with the McDonald's colors. So I wanted to use both of these to show that you do have options when you are building builds like this. Next, I'm going to decorate the stalls, but keep it really simple. I ended up using a cheeseburger hat on here that looked like a McDonald's Big Mac, and then we're just going to place items like dinnerware, etc. We're keeping everything very simple. Next, we're going to decorate the drink machines with just a cardboard box and an LCD TV. We're keeping it very simple. It fills in that little awkward spot by the bookshelf, and that is pretty much how I transitioned over here for that spot. And then over here, I'm just going to do a really simple sitting area. And next, we're going to focus on options that you can do for the second level of this build. So let's say you don't want to have your McDonald's logo on that first level. You could also place your simple panels up here and move your logo up higher. So when you're walking through your island, you'll see that logo very high up, and it just shows really nicely, especially if you want more dimension to your build. You can also just go the simple route of using a diner neon sign above, which is actually what I used for this build because obviously I don't want repeating designs. But I wanted to showcase that that is an option. What I would do where the McDonald's is on the first level is put my menus there. So I would probably do two different menu designs. So I just wanted to show you that other option you can do on this build. So now my McDonald's is finally finished. I think the layout for this turned out really well, and I'm just super excited that it turned out very cute and nostalgic. I obviously had to get my McDonald's uniform for this build, so I thought it looked pretty cute when I was showing y'all the finished product. In the future, I think I will definitely do the white bookshelf and with a different area for the cash register. But I still do like how the brown bookshelf looks. With that being said, let's head on over to our next immersive build. Our next interactive store is a donut shop, and these beautiful designs are created by TROPIKITCH. We use her designs quite a bit on my channel, exception of the tile codes, including the panel and the floor. Again, I found those on criteria search tile. If you are doing a girly island or a kidcore theme, then this shop will be absolutely perfect for your island. We'll be using a ton of different items to act like donuts for our shop. And I also used two drink machines on each end with the stalls covering the donut panel. I absolutely love how this layout turned out. And then to hide the repeating design, all I used was a block dresser reversed. To hide the second repeating logo better, I'm just going to place a couple different items here. We're going to be using a ton of Sanrio furniture in this build. Now I'm going to make my cash register area by using the teal diner neon counter, and we're going to be using a ton of different diner furniture too with this. It's going to be a mixture between the diner furniture, block furniture, and Sanrio furniture. So we're combining 3 different furniture sets on this, and I wanted to show that you don't always have to use the same furniture sets. You can mix and match and it will work out perfectly fine. Then I'm going to use the diner counter and repeat with the blue and pink combo in front of it, and then we're going to continue to decorate this area. I actually really loved how this build turned out, so I'm going to be recreating this on my Citycore island. It's just super fun and happy, and I just love everything about how it turned out. I was really hoping that the stalls in front acting like the front of the building was going to work out because it's very cafe-like, and it ended up working out really well, so I'm very excited about this. I also want to give a huge thank you to several of my Discord members, y'all know who you are, for helping me come up with really cute items for a cookie and donut shop. So we actually did a stream the other day and I was using these designs and I was trying to think of items besides the usual donut items that we know of for this build, something that was a little bit different, and everyone contributed and helped me figure out other items that would work for this. So I'm super excited that I know about these items now because I honestly had no idea that these existed. So I thought all of this just looked super cute together. Let me know again what y'all thought about all of these builds today. And if you want to see more immersive style builds that you can interact with, also let me know in the comment section. We can do more videos like this with different ideas, including even some Japanese ones if y'all are interested. Next, I'm going to take this bed and put it right above our logo, and I can't wait for y'all to see this because I was really hoping it worked out. It is absolutely adorable. I am super stoked about this because usually we put like a diner neon sign up here or, you know, like our store's logo, but wait until y'all see how this looks. So now I placed our bed and check this out. Isn't that adorable? It's a little rainbow above the donut shop sign. I am very excited about this. I am like freaking out because I was hoping you could see it. So now our donut shop is completed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. With that being said, I sure hope y'all are enjoying these ideas, but I got a couple more builds in store for you. So let's go ahead and transition. Our next interactive build is a Brewster cafe, and I'm really excited to do this recreation. The tile that I'm using inside this building can be found on criteria search. Once again, all the tiles that we are using will be found there. I made a ton of different code adjustments as I was working on this build, but I'll have every single code that we used on the video's description just like the other ones. So once again, we're using the same exact base like we have done on the past few builds. The only difference is I am showing the bookcase on one of them, and I wanted this to be a very cozy, full of rich browns, just like the original Roost Cafe. The picture of Brewster and the menu was found under criteria search the Roost and also coffee. So if you want those, that's where I found them. So now I'm just going to go around and fill this in with a ton of different decorations. I'm actually going to be changing out those black window simple panels to the Brewster logo. I thought this would be a really cool spot to showcase the design. So once I finish decorating the interior, we'll go ahead and transition to that. The Brewster logo is once again by TROPIKITCH, and I absolutely love the colors she chose for this. It feels very cozy, and then I'm just going to hide the bookshelves right there with one simple panel of the wall texture that she made as well. And this is pretty much how the build ended up turning out. We're going to add a few more details. We're going to hide that repeating logo. And I was trying out the double sofa at first, but then I noticed it didn't really cover it well, so we ended up just using the den desk again. And now our Brewster Cafe is completed. Let me know what y'all thought about this recreation in the comment section below. As mentioned earlier in this video, if you would love to see more builds like this to recreate on your island, let me know some other interior designs you would love to see me recreate. I had a lot of fun doing these interactive builds. They're just super fun to do. They fill space. They are just a great filler in general. So if you have any specific ones you would love to see me do, definitely let me know in the comments section. With that being said, let's go ahead and transition to our last interactive build for this video. So if you're doing a tropical island, this build is for you. We are going to be giving Tangy a interactive juice shop. So I'm very excited once again to be using TROPIKITCH's codes. Tangy is one of my favorite villagers, so I'm very excited to do this. I found the coolest wallpaper and rug code under criteria search citrus, and I cannot wait for y'all to see this. This is the reason why I decided to use the base game flooring for this build. You can absolutely skip the rug and just do a white tile or something more retro styled, but I really wanted to use this rug. After placing the diner counter and the diner counter stool in yellow, we are now gonna go prep the little nook that we made where the menus are with some different items. I actually changed my mind on some of the layout for this build during the video, so you're gonna see those edits in a second. After placing 2 drink machines and putting the wallpaper code here instead, I am using now the ironwood cupboard, and I loved how this looked on this build. And then we will stage, of course, some fruit in a blender. So now I have added 2 citrus tables with 2 diner chairs, and I absolutely just love how this combination looks. I feel like this is perfect for Tangy. It's definitely in her style. And then of course, as you can see on that second level, I did 2 diner neon signs and the logo. Again, just like in the beginning of this video, you can use this as a transition area behind it with some terraform leading up to maybe some apartments. Obviously put some greenery and trees behind these pieces of decor, or you could just remove all of this and put her logo somewhere inside the build itself. So now we are going to add some final details to today's build for Tangy. I am really excited how all these stores turned out today. Let me know what your favorite one was in the comment section below, and let me know also if you want to see more videos like this in the future. It's really fun to do immersive and interactive builds in general, so if you want to see more of these to look for inspo for your island, definitely let me know in the comments. Let me know which build you will be recreating on your island. Thank you so much for watching, and have a horrible day.